Jourdan Blue's journey shows just how unpredictable the music world can be. He walked away from law school with a big dream, poured his heart out on city streets, and stepped into the spotlight, only to hear no from American Idol. But his story didn't end there. On America's Got Talent, Jourdan stunned both the judges and the crowd, earning a golden buzzer and a standing ovation. His path from rejection to celebration proves that raw talent and grit can shine through, even when the industry's gatekeepers say no. This isn't just another rags to riches act. It's a lesson in redemption and the power of second chances. Jourdan Blue, from New Orleans streets to the national stage. Jourdan Blue's story is more than a stroke of luck or a viral moment. It's built upon years of tough choices, heartbreak, and grit. Before golden confetti rained down on him on America's Got Talent, he was a young man singing on the hot, crowded corners of New Orleans. His musical roots stretch back to childhood, but it's his struggles and street performances that forged the depth and soul that now captivate nationwide audiences. Overcoming personal hardships, Jourdan didn't follow a typical path to stardom. By 16, he was without a steady home, shuffling between couches and park benches across New Orleans. He faced homelessness more than once, learning early how unreliable life could be when there is no safety net. Grief became his silent companion. After the death of his grandfather, his closest supporter and mentor, the pain and confusion from that loss seeped into every aspect of his days and haunted his nights. But it also became the wellspring for his most heartfelt lyrics. Was never far behind. Even after showing early musical promise, Jourdan wondered if his voice could ever rise above the noise of the city or the disappointment in his own mind. Pressure mounted when college entered the picture. He started law school, driven by the hope of providing stability for his family. But music kept calling. What stands out is not the tragedy of his hardships, but the way Jourdan pulled something beautiful from the struggle. He built resilience, not just to survive, but to sing as if every lyric could be his last message to the world. Each heartbreak became a verse, each setback a chorus. Instead of breaking him, the hard times carved out space for a deeper, richer sound that would later move millions. Street performances and self-discovery. It was the street corners of the French Quarter, not glossy studios or expensive lessons, where Jourdan found his true voice. Busking in New Orleans may seem romantic from afar, but for him it was an act of survival and discovery. Singing under the Louisiana sun, with tourists and locals tossing a few dollars in his open guitar case, Jourdan learned to command attention using nothing but raw talent and sheer willpower. Street performing forced Jourdan to refine every aspect of his craft. The city's energetic, unpredictable crowd demanded authentic emotion and technical mastery in equal measure. Some nights, his set would be drowned out by nearby brass bands, pushing him to belt louder with more feeling. On quieter days, the intimacy of a small crowd taught him how to connect and hold their gaze. In New Orleans, fellow musicians became his teachers. Street corners turned into classrooms. The music of the city seeped into his soul. He mixed blues, R&B, hip-hop, and soul, crafting a style as unique as his journey. Through dozens of daily performances, he discovered the power of vulnerability. How letting his own pain and hope come through in his voice could move an audience to tears or cheers. Jourdan's story is a testament to how the hardest streets can make the strongest voices. The lessons he learned there gave his performances on national TV an authenticity that no judge or coach could manufacture. His journey proves that raw talent and lived experience will always find a way to shine through, no matter where you start. The American Idol rejection and what followed. Jourdan Blue's American Idol chapter is a crucial turning point in his story. While many know him today from his golden buzzer moment on America's Got Talent, few have heard the full backstory of the rejection that could have stopped his music career before it ever began. What happened on Idol? How did it shape Blue's approach? And what fueled his rise after that hard stop? These moments make his later victories all the more powerful. An audition that didn't make the cut. Jourdan Blue auditioned for American Idol's 20th season in early 2022. He sang crowd favorites like Take Me to Church, Too Close, and Dancing on My Own. His audition, arranged through a casting director's tip, happened quickly. He had just days to prepare. Though his participation was genuine, his lack of formal vocal training stood out. With talent raw from the streets of New Orleans, Jourdan brought honest emotion and an unpolished style. When the judges gave feedback, the message was clear. Jourdan's voice had soul, but it wasn't as refined as what they were seeking for their tight top 24 cut. The panel recognized his potential and praised his authenticity, but they suggested he work on control and technique. Unlike the Hollywood stories, where every singer gets a second chance, Jourdan's Idol run ended before he could make a splash on TV. The cameras never aired his audition. His moment passed without even a single episode. From the rejection, Jourdan took away more than bruised pride. He learned, sometimes, pure heart isn't enough for industry gatekeepers. Preparation and experience in formal auditions matter. Setbacks can be private and painful, especially when nobody else sees the work that's gone in. Blue talked about how Idol's decision stung, especially after his rush to prepare. He could have quit then, as many do after getting cut. Instead, he took the judges' advice as fuel, turning setbacks into motivation. Jourdan's next chapter was about more than licking his wounds. It was a personal challenge to get better. Instead of withdrawing, he leaned into his disappointment and let it drive him forward. He changed his approach in key ways. Doubled down on practice. Jourdan recognized he needed more than raw talent. He spent hours each day refining his voice, learning new songs, and experimenting with arrangements. He watched YouTube tutorials and listened intently to other singers, always on the lookout for small improvements. Embraced his story, rather than feeling ashamed. Jourdan shared his setback openly with supporters online. He talked about the audition on American Idol, unaired, and on social channels, making honesty central to his message, refocused on authenticity. The rejection pushed him to let go of chasing industry perfection. He stopped worrying about whether he fit the mold and started singing more of what moved him. Prepared for the next shot, when the chance to audition for America's Got Talent appeared. Jourdan was better prepared in voice, style, and confidence. He picked Braven because it let his emotion shine and told a piece of his own story. Jourdan's perseverance did more than prepare him for another televised competition. It grew his social following and earned him respect from peers and mentors who had seen him start from nothing. Each time he talked about his journey from sleeping on benches to standing in front of major TV judges, he inspired others who had faced their own doors slammed shut. The sting of American Idol's rejection didn't disappear, but for Jourdan, it became the push he needed to prove he belonged on any stage. That fierce motivation set the stage for his breakout on America's Got Talent and his unforgettable golden buzzer moment. Golden buzzer glory. The America's Got Talent breakthrough. Jourdan Blue's moment on America's Got Talent wasn't just another contestant singing for a shot at fame. It was the convergence of years of struggle, hope, and a dream nearly lost. To rejection, with the world watching, he took the stage not as an unknown, but as a survivor with a voice honed in hardship. From the first note of Break Even by the script, it was clear that this was a performance anchored by true life experience, one that would go far beyond the walls of the theatre, and right into the hearts of millions. A performance with heart and soul. Jourdan didn't hide his nerves, but any tremble in his voice faded the instant he started to sing. His take on Break Even was more than a cover. It was a release of everything he'd carried through years of uncertainty. You could hear the weight of the past in every lyric, every stretch of his range, soulful, raw, and honest. Unlike other contestants, Jourdan owned his pain, transforming it into power. Each phrase was shaded with the ache of nights spent on New Orleans streets, the memory of his grandfather, and the daily fight to provide for his young son. Jox's performance was a story, not just a song. That vulnerability made him impossible to ignore and set him apart from polished acts who sometimes lacked genuine feeling. The judges reacted quickly and decisively. By the time Jourdan reached the soaring chorus, all four, Howie Mandel in particularly, were visibly moved. Howie's words came out choked with respect, calling Blue's audition the reason we do this show. The golden buzzer came down hard, sending gold confetti everywhere and cementing the fact that this was one of those rare TV moments where everyone in the room felt history being made. Key elements that set Jourdan's performance apart: deep emotional connection, no filter between past struggle and present voice, originality, twists in melody and phrasing that made the song his own, stage presence, open vulnerability drew in both the live audience and viewers at home. Relatability, every word felt earned, not acted. Jourdan's performance wasn't technically perfect, but emotion triumphed over every flaw. The result was a masterclass in how to move an audience with more than just notes. Audience response and viral fame. What happened after Jourdan's golden buzzer was an avalanche of emotion from the people in the theater, on social media, and across mainstream news outlets. Clips of his audition exploded on every platform within hours. The official AGT video surpassed 1 million views on YouTube in the first day and racked up tens of thousands of comments from fans who saw themselves in his struggle. ART's Instagram and TikTok channels filled with reaction videos, each capturing viewers brought to tears or standing up in their living rooms. Some fans admitted to watching his performance dozens of times, sharing it with friends and even strangers. The live audience played a huge role in this momentum. The room erupted in cheers the moment Howie slammed the golden buzzer. Audience members stood, clapped, and some visibly cried, swept up by the authenticity that set Jourdan apart from other acts. Social reactions rolled in from around the world, forging a quick and loyal #BlueCrew following. Online. Hashtags like #Jourdan Blue and #Golden Buzzer trended for days. Thousands of posts celebrated the fact that someone who was once invisible on TV, cut by another show, was finally seen. Industry professionals, former AGT contestants, and celebrity musicians also chimed in with praise, amplifying his story's reach. Fan comments from across platforms reflected recurring themes. You can feel every single word he sings. This is what music's supposed to do, make you feel, remind you you're not alone. Jourdan's story gives hope to everyone who's ever felt left out or overlooked. The viral fame didn't stop with online buzz. Within a week, Jourdan had landed interviews with local and national media. Streaming playlists picked up break-even covers, and AGT producers teased more spotlights on his journey. For those who watched Jourdan in that golden confetti, The moment proved that not all second chances are equal sometimes. The right one can change everything. The meaning and impact of the Golden Buzzer since its first appearance. The Golden Buzzer has become the brightest spotlight on America's Got Talent. It isn't just a flashy gimmick or an excuse for confetti bursts. It's a shortcut to the live shows. A vote of confidence straight from the judges' hearts, and often a launch pad for lasting stardom. For contestants like Jourdan Blue, getting the Golden Buzzer can mean everything. A second chance, wider exposure, and validation that sometimes echoes louder than $1 million prize. How the Golden Buzzer changed the competition for most of AGT's history. Advancement depended on group votes and second-guessing by judges. All of that shifted in 2014 when the Golden Buzzer was introduced. At first, it was just a way to break ties or save acts from early elimination. Now, its power is much greater. Fast track to the live shows. The modern Golden Buzzer skips over extra cuts and deliberations. It sends performers straight to the live rounds with no debate. This change raised the stakes dramatically, making every buzzer press a potential turning point. More emotional weight. Judges began using their single Golden Buzzer pick each season to highlight acts that brought something deeply moving or original. These were often singers, dancers, or groups whose stories or raw talent cut straight to the judges' core. Expanded rules for more impact. Later seasons let hosts and even the audience hand out Golden Buzzers, multiplying the moments and opening new doors for more unique talents. In recent years, Season 19 saw judges using multiple buzzers, giving even more underdogs a shot at the big time. This shift didn't just change the competition on paper. It made AGT famous for tear-jerking, larger-than-life moments. When confetti pours and an act hugs the judges, viewers know this is something special. A leapfrogging over the usual grind. A direct ticket to greatness. Statistically, the Golden Buzzer has real muscle. Across 16 seasons, Golden Buzzer acts are 3 times more likely to reach the finals than those advancing the usual way. Several have gone on to take the grand prize, including stars like Grace VanderWaal, Cody Lee, and the Myers. Many recipients become instant viral sensations, pulling in millions of social media fans overnight. For Jourdan Blue, the Golden Buzzer did more than send him forward in the contest. It validated his voice, his story, and years of hard work that other shows overlooked. Paths to fame. Beyond traditional auditions, reality competition shows once felt like single, narrow gateways into the entertainment industry. But AGT and its Golden Buzzer have set up new roads to recognition, especially for artists passed over by other platforms. For modern performers, the landscape has changed in big ways. Alternative routes rise up. Street singers, YouTube artists, and those with non-traditional backgrounds now get front-row access to global audiences. The Golden Buzzer can scoop someone from obscurity straight into the national spotlight, skipping years of slow grind. The power of storytelling. Viewers and judges crave more than technical skill. They want connection. Contestants who reveal their personal stories, loss, resilience, hope often become Golden Buzzer picks, proving that honesty and vulnerability matter as much as skill. Influence outside the TV bubble. Many acts use their Golden Buzzer moment to build lasting careers, even if they don't win at recording contracts. Sold-out tours and massive online followings are now common. Emotional, authentic performances, like Mandy Harvey's or Nightbird's draw lasting support from fans and industry leaders alike. The traditional star-making machinery of music labels and casting directors isn't the only ticket anymore. Talent shows like a GT, fueled by the golden buzzer's promise, give overlooked voices a way in. Performers who once might have been rejected, quietly like Jourdan on Idol now, stand a real chance to shine. Artists can learn from these shifts. Use every setback as feedback, not a stop sign. Share your story without holding back. Audiences are hungry for authenticity. Understand that short, viral moments can turn into careers if you work smart and keep hustling. In 2025, the golden buzzer means more than just confetti. It's a symbol of new beginnings, proving that anyone's story can break through, even when the old doors stay closed. For fans and aspiring talents, it's hope made visible and history still in the making. Jourdan Blue's rise from street performer to golden buzzer winner carries a message that sticks. Hard work and heart can outshine polished routines and scripted TV moments. His journey is proof that perseverance matters. After a quiet rejection from American Idol, he kept singing, learning, and refusing to let one closed door define him. Audiences connect with stories like his because they see honesty and the hope that setbacks don't have to be the end. Jourdan's golden buzzer moment reminds us all that talent competitions at their best are about giving real people a fresh chance. For anyone who's faced a no, his triumph is more than good television. It's a call to keep trying. Thanks for following along. If Jourdan's path inspired you, share your favorite comeback stories below. Your voice matters, too.